In this video, we will be learning about transformations, and that's going to be a lesson in your book. So make sure that you have that, and we're going to be looking at pages 103 through 107. You will also be receiving a worksheet that's going to be a homework worksheet. So let's go ahead and start on page 103. I'd like you to take a minute and read the learning target. So as you're reading that, you'll notice that we're going to be learning about transformations. We're also going to be looking at and identifying rigid motions and non-rigid motions. So these are words that we need to learn what they mean. We will also represent transformation using coordinates. So these are 3 different targets that hopefully we can accomplish by the end of this video. I would like you to go down to those 3 figures on the bottom, and I'd like you to look at them and try to figure out what's happening when you move from figure A to figure B and then figure C. What's happening? What's the transformation that's occurring between A and B and then between A and C? Now, as we're looking at figure A, we call this the pre-image, because that's the image we're starting with. And we call image B, so that's an image, and C is an image. So the pre-image is always the original. That's the original. And B and C are the image or figure that you get after transformation. So let's look at image A or pre-image A. The length, this is a rectangle, and the length of this rectangle is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's a 5 by 8 rectangle. If we look at figure B, it's still a 5 by 8 rectangle. So the size of this rectangle did not change. However, it was shifted it's basically shifted down. It didn't shift right or left, just shifted down. And let me see how many. It was at 10 and now it's at 4. So it shifted down 6. So in this case, we call this transformation a rigid transformation, because the image has the same size and shape as the pre-image. It's still a rectangle, it's still a 5 by 8 rectangle. So it maintained the size and the shape, but it's just shifted down in this case. Now if you look at figure C, now it's still a rectangle, however I can see that it's stretched, it's bigger than the original figure. So then in this case, we call this transformation a non-rigid transformation, because it did not maintain the same size. It's still a rectangle, but it's a different size rectangle. So if you want to review some of those terms that we just used. Now, a transformation is a change in the position. So for example, sketch B, it's still the same as sketch A, it's rigid transformation. It changed the position. So here it was like between 2 and 10. Here it's between -4 and 4. So the position has changed. The size could change, or the shape of the figure might change. In figure C, it's still a rectangle, so the shape did not change, but it's a different size. It's a bigger rectangle, stretched rectangle. Now the pre-image is the original, and the image is the figure after the transformation. So these are some words that you need to understand whenever you read them and whenever you come across them. The pre-image is the original. The image is the figure after the transformation. A rigid transformation is when you have the same size and shape. A non-rigid transformation is when there's a change in the size or the shape of the original figure, which is the pre-image. So make sure that you take good notes and you have those definitions highlighted. Now let's move on to the next page, which is page 104. And I want to direct your attention to problem C. So now they're saying you can use the notation 110, and then there's an arrow, 14, to show how a point is transformed. So every time you see this arrow, it means that there is some kind of transformation. So it's right above the arrow that's transformation. So this point, 110, is transformed to become 0.14. When you use this notation to show how a general point xy is transformed, you are expressing the transformation as a function. So remember, this is our third target, learning target, is that to know how we can represent a transformation using coordinates. So then I'm starting with point 110, and it is transformed to 0.14. Now, if you notice that the x did not change, it's still 1. So if I'm starting with point, let's say, xy, the x will stay the same. Now, if you look at the y value, it's 10, and here it's 4. So what's happening to go from 10 to 4? You're subtracting 6 from y. So y minus 6. So 1 stays the same, so x stays x. 10 minus 6 is 4, so that means y, I need to subtract 6 from the y. So this is how you can represent transformation as coordinates. Now let's move on to the next page, which is page 105. I'll do 6a, and then I'd like you to try 6b on your own. So let's start with 6a. Draw each image on the graph to show how the pre-image is transformed by the function. Then classify the transformation as rigid or non-rigid. So then I have a pre-image over here, and I need to draw the image after the transformation. And what's the transformation? If I have point xy, I'm adding 3 to the x, and the y is staying the same. So for me to be able to know where these points are, I'm going to try to find the points of this square. So this point is going to be 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's 2, 5. The other point is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 as well. So basically find the coordinates of these points. And this is 2, 2, and this is 5, 2. And I need to apply this transformation to draw my image. So the x, I need to add 3 to the x and keep the y the same. So if I start with point 25, and I apply the transformation, the 2 will become a 5, and the y will stay the same. So I'm adding 3 to the x, so 2 plus 3 is a 5, but the y is staying the same. So if it starts with a 5, it ends with a 5. So 2, 5 became 5, 5. So let's plot that point. Now if I have point 5, 5, so we did this one, now let's do this one, 5, 5. So if I start with point 5, 5, and I need to add 3 to the x and keep the y as it is. So now it's 8, 5. Okay, now 2, 2, which is this point, let's apply the transformation. So 2, 2 becomes So 2 plus 3 is 5. And then 2 stays the same, so 5, 2. That's the point. And then 5, 2 is going to become, so 5 plus 3 is 8, so that's 8, 2. There you go. And let's go ahead and sketch that. Okay. Now I can see that this figure stays the same, so it has the same size and shape. However, it's shifted, so this is like 2 away from the y-axis. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps away from the y-axis. So as you can see, that this graph is shifted to the right 3, but it maintained the same size and shape. So I can describe this transformation as rigid transformation. Now, every time I'm adding numbers to the x or the y, it means I'm shifting it either right or left if it's for the x. If I'm adding something to the y, it means I'm shifting it up or down. And the word shift, it means just move it, slide it. That means that the transformation will always be rigid, as I'm not changing the size of the shape or the shape of the figure. Now go ahead, pause the video and try B on your own. I'd like you to sketch the new figure, so I want you to sketch the image. And I'd like you to tell me whether the transformation is going to be rigid or non-rigid. Now if you look at the coordinates, I can see that x becomes 2x, it means I'm multiplying by 2. And y becomes 2y, it means I'm multiplying the y by 2. So go ahead, start by finding the coordinates of this rectangle. Multiply the x by 2, multiply the y by 2, so you can find the new points for your image, so you can decide whether the transformation is going to be rigid or non-rigid. So pause the video and try B on your own. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this together. So that is the figure, the original figure, so that's the pre-image, and that's the image. It means the figure after transformation. Now I'm multiplying the x by 2 and the y by 2. So if I start with 1, 5, and I multiply the x and the y by 2, it becomes 2, 10, and the point is this point over here. And then I have 0.35, and I multiply by 2, so that becomes 6, 10, and that's the point over here. Now I have 0.12, and I multiply that by 2, each one of them by 2, so that's 2, 4, and that's this point over here. And then I have 0.32, multiply that by 2, so it becomes 6, 4, and that's the point over here. So now I have the points for the image, and I just connect them. I can tell that it is bigger in size. Now, you can see that the width is 2, so 2 times 2 is 4, which makes sense. And then 1, 2, 3 multiplies by 2, it becomes 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the length is 6 as well. So every time you are multiplying, it means you're changing the side. And since I'm multiplying by a number greater than 1, that means I'm stretching the figure. It's going to look stretched. It's going to look bigger. Now, if I multiply by a number that's less than 1, for example, 1 over 2, it means you are basically compressing the figure. It's going to look smaller. So in this case, 6b, this was a non-rigid transformation. Now, I hope that this video was helpful. Now let's review the learning targets for this lesson. Now you needed to understand what transformation means. It means you're either moving, changing the position of the figure, you're either changing the size or the shape, so that's transformation, and usually it's represented by an arrow. You need to understand that the pre-image is the original figure, and the image is the figure after transformation. You need to understand the difference between rigid and non-rigid transformation. Rigid is where it maintains the size and the shape, but it is shifted, just the position changed. Non-rigid, it means that the size changed, or maybe the shape changed as well. And you can see that because you're multiplying by 2, like the position shifted as well. A lot of things changed when it's non-rigid. And the other thing that you need to understand is how to write the coordinates. And what does these mean? So if it's x plus 3, it means you're moving the x, so you're adding 3 to the x, so that means that the figure is going to go to the right 3. If you are subtracting from x, it means you're moving it to the left. If you're adding something to the y, it means you're moving it up. If you're subtracting something from y, it means you're moving it down. Every time you're adding or subtracting, you are just shifting the position, so it will always be a rigid transformation. Every time you multiply by a number, the size of the shape will change. So that will be a non-rigid transformation. So this is like a summary of the things that you needed to know in this lesson. This lesson will be posted on Google Classroom if you need to watch it again. I think you will have enough time to work on your worksheet now. So make sure that you have 9-1 transformation worksheet.